information about target audience, that is with the particular product or service. Decide how the audience will react to your product or service. बिकॉज जब तक आप मार्केट की रिक्वायरमेंट्स को नहीं जानोगे, आपको कैसे पता चलेगा कि आपकी प्रोडक्ट जो आपने लॉन्च करी है, क्या वो कस्टमर्स को पसंद है या नहीं है. So the information that you obtain from conducting this market research can be used students in a tailored manner, advertising activities, or even to determine what is the consumer feature priorities or services that you have. Fine. Now, why is this marketing research important? Let us understand that the importance of marketing research. Informed decision making. Now, marketing research, it provides you a valuable insight that is into the consumer behavior, their market trends, competitive dynamics, okay, so which will help the business to make informed decisions. For example, the companies like Cadbury, what do? They use this market research to understand what is the consumer preference. And then they tailor their product, the changes in the product according to the requirement of the customer. Identifying opportunities and the threats. Through research, what will happen? Now, when you are doing research, companies can identify students, what are the new opportunities, what are the potential threats that the company has. For example, you will analyze the trend of the consumer demand. For example, Maruti Suzuki, it identified a growing trend in SUVs, which leads to what? The development of new model like Vitara, right? Then comes understanding consumer needs. Now, marketing research helps the business to understand what are the customer needs, their preferences, allowing them to develop the product, the service that better meets the need of the customer. For example, your Hindustan Lever, it uses the research so that you can improve their product, the formulations based on the consumer feedback that you have. Evaluating market strategies. Now, evaluate market strategy, what it does, it will help you. It will allow the business to assess the effectiveness of your marketing strategies. Make the necessary changes like Pepsi. It analyzes the impact of advertising campaign to ensure that they resonate with the target audience. Now the customer requirement was sugar-free. So Pepsi also launched the cold drinks with sugar-free. So that is, you are understanding the requirements, evaluating the customer needs. Enhancing competitive advantage by analyzing the competitors' trend, their weakness, business can develop strategy students to gain competitive edge. For example, Flipkart, they conduct the research to understand what is the Amazon strategies. They find out ways to differentiate itself in the Indian e-commerce market because both are competitors. एक से मुझे दूसरे से कैसे अच्छा दिखना है, कैसे मेरे प्रोडक्ट ज्यादा सेल हो कंपेयर टू Amazon या Amazon चाहेगा कंपेयर टू Flipkart, right? Clear with the importance part? Any doubt over here? Anybody? Fine. Next, we are going to talk about is the types of marketing research. Now, we have different types of marketing research, students. The first is the exploratory research. Exploratory matlab detailment. You need to define the problem. Now, this type of research is used to gather the preliminary information that will help you students to define the problem, such as the hypothesis. It is often qualitative. It includes methods like your focus group, in-depth interviews. Fine. So over here, for example, a company uses this exploratory research to understand the reason behind the declining customer satisfaction. What is the reason? So I was telling you all the example. For example, let's say there is a company, they want to understand what is the reason हमारे customer जो service है, वो satisfaction ratio जो है, why it is going down. So that is through the exploratory research you will understand. Okay. Next is descriptive research. Now this research is used to describe the characteristics of a population. It is often quantitative student. It includes surveys, observation, both. For example, there is a retail store or retail chain. They might use this descriptive research to analyze what are the customer demographics, what is the purchasing power, कौन सा age group की कौन से products को ज़्यादा खरीद रहा है. Okay. Then comes casual research. Now, casual research, which is also known as experimental research, which helps you to understand what is the cause and the effect relationship. It involves control experiment test. अगर आपके product को आपको test करना है, let's say there is a beverage company who want to test the different packaging design or the flavor of the product. Right? So what they will do, they will distribute that product as sample in the market, and based on the consumer preference, they will decide. Okay? Then comes diagnostic research. Now, diagnostic means you are identifying what are the problems, what are their causes. It will help you students in diagnosing the issues that you have with various marketing strategies. Okay, for example, a company, they will use this research to find out why particular product line is underperforming. What is the reason? So you are doing a diagnosis of it. And then comes predictive research. That means predict karna matlab forecast karna. So this type of research is used to forecast your future trends based on the current and the past data. It involves statistical modeling, trend analysis. For example, there is an apparel brand who might use this predictive research to forecast what is the fashion trend that is going on, so that they can plan the inventory accordingly. Okay. So these are the different types of market research that you have. First one is the exploratory, which defines the problem. Second one is the descriptive, which tells you about the customer demographic and the behavior. Third is your casual research, which is also known as experimental, which helps you to understand the cause and effect relationship. Then we have diagnostic research, where we come to know what are the issues within that marketing strategies, and predictive research is related with forecasting. Okay, clear? Any doubts till here? If all clear, please show the thumbs up, or either you can post it in the chat box. Okay. Thank you, Riya. Thank you, Isha. हर्षित, मार्केट स्ट्रैटेजीज का मतलब होता है कौन सी स्ट्रैटेजीज आप यूज करोगे सो दैट your product gets successful in the market. You identify that your product is not performing well. How will you improve that product performance? Okay, so that is the different strategies that you're going to use. Thank you, everyone. Yes, Harshit, is it clear now? Sorry. Okay, thank you so much. Next is the process. अब क्या process follow करोगे आप for the market research? Let us understand that one by one. First, we are going to define the problem and the objectives. We will clearly understand students the research problem. We will define what are the objectives. Okay, so here you need to understand what information is needed, how it will be used in this particular first step. For example, let's say a company define a problem as declining sales and set an objective to identify the customer dissatisfaction reason. तो आपने क्या किया, डिफाइन कर दिया प्रॉब्लम को, क्या है, सेल्स डिक्लाइन हो रहा है। अब ऑब्जेक्टिव आपका क्या था कि क्यों हो रहा है, कस्टमर डिससैटिस्फैक्शन का रीजन क्या है, वो जानना आपका ऑब्जेक्टिव होगा। आफ्टर दैट the next step comes where you develop the research plan. Now, designing the research methodology includes students the various type of data that is to be collected, like by the help of a survey, by the help of interview, right? For example, over here again, let's say there is a research plan who might include an online survey to gather the information of the customer feedback. So they can use anything. And after that, you will collect the data, gather all the necessary data which are useful for that chosen research method, which involves your survey, is survey and interview as your primary data collection, because that's a first hand. सेकेंडरी जिन्होंने ऑलरेडी रिसर्च किया है वही डेटा आप यूज कर रहे हो, उसको हम सेकेंडरी बोलते हैं, लाइक इंडस्ट्री रिपोर्ट्स, कंपनी रिकॉर्ड्स। ओके, तो यहाँ पे हम एग्जांपल ले सकते हैं, जैसे कि कंपनी को कलेक्ट करना है इंफॉर्मेशन थ्रू कस्टमर सर्वे, सेल्स डेटा एनालिसिस, तो वो क्या करेगा, डेटा गैदर करेगा। आफ्टर कलेक्टिंग द डेटा क्या आप ऐसे ही रखोगे? नो, you will analyze that. That means you will process, you will analyze that collected data to identify the patterns, trend, and even the insight also. So here you will use various statistical techniques, students, tools to interpret the data. Correct? For example, आपका डेटा एनालिसिस ये भी बता सकता है कि कस्टमर डिससैटिस्फैक्शन इसके वजह से हुआ है क्योंकि प्रोडक्ट डिलीवरी टाइम ज्यादा है। तो ये आपको कैसे पता चला? ट्रेंड देख के, जो आपने डेटा कलेक्ट किया उसको एनालाइज किया, राइट? देन कम्स रिपोर्ट फाइंडिंग एंड मेक डिसीजन। प्रेजेंट दैट रिसर्च फाइंडिंग्स एक्शनेबल फॉर्मेट. Okay, this includes what you will prepare the report, you will present, you will highlight that insight recommendations, you will make changes to the product delivery process based on the customer feedback, because आपको पता है customer dissatisfaction क्यों है, because आपका timely delivery नहीं हो रहा, तो आप उसको improve करने की कोशिश करोगे, because आपको findings पता चल गया, अब आप उसका decision ले रहे हो, you will make the changes. Then comes implement and monitor. Now, when you talk about implement and monitor, you will put that research findings into the action. Monitor the outcomes to ensure that the changes have the desired effect. आपने changes तो कर दिए, but ध्यान भी रखना जरूरी है ना कि that changes is positive or negative. अगर आप tracking नहीं करोगे तो आपको ये पता नहीं चलेगा कि आपने जो भी modification किया whether that is successful or not. Correct? For example, after implementing the changes, for example, after implementing the changes to improve your timely delivery, what will the company do? The company will monitor that customer satisfaction ratio so that they can understand, gauge what is the impact. Okay, so these are the process, the steps you can say that you will follow for marketing research. Any doubts in marketing research till now? Anybody? Okay. Thank you so much. Next, we are going to talk about is the marketing environment. अब मार्केटिंग एनवायरनमेंट क्या होता है ना, इट्स अ कॉम्बिनेशन स्टूडेंट्स ऑफ इंटरनल एक्सटर्नल फैक्टर्स जो इन्फ्लुएंस करता है कंपनी को कि वो रिलेशनशिप बना के रखे कस्टमर्स के साथ. सो दिस फैक्टर्स दे शेप how business create, maintain the relationship with the customer, adapt to the changing market conditions, achieve their goals. Okay. So here you have internal environment, which includes all the elements that are there within the organization, जैसे कि आपके resources, company culture, right? All of which are under the company's control. तो जो भी company के control के अंदर है, वो हो गया आपका internal environment. But जो company के control में नहीं है, that is your external environment, like the forces that are outside the company, which includes customers, suppliers, competitors, intermediaries, okay? Even the technological advancement, political, legal, you can say regulations. So companies must continuously monitor. They must respond to the changes students in the marketing environment so that they can stay competitive and seize the opportunities also. Okay. Now we'll understand this both the environment one by one. The first is the external environment, which is further classified into micro environment. Up micro means what? Small. Okay. Which has suppliers, market intermediaries, your competitors, customers, and even public. Now, suppliers. Now, what do suppliers do? Anybody? Suppliers provide you student resources that are required to produce goods and service, right? Market intermediaries क्या करेंगे? It will help the business to promote, to sell, to distribute their goods and services to the end users. जैसे कि आपके रिटेलर्स होते हैं, जैसे कि आपके डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर्स होते हैं. Competitors, other firm who is selling the same product or service in the market like you are selling. Customers, the target market or the group of people the business aims to serve. Impact students on that organization's ability. जैसे कि आपका मीडिया हो गया, लोकल कम्युनिटीज हो गया, they help you to achieve the company's objective. Okay. This is your micro environment. Now, what is there in the macro? Micro means large societal forces that indirectly affects. That is demographic, जैसे कि आपका age, gender, income, that is population characteristics. Economic factors and the overall state of the economy, which includes factors like inflation, unemployment, economic growth. Okay. Natural, that is environmental factors like your climate change, resource availability, ecological sustainability. तो ये सब क्या है? नेचुरल है, जिसमें आपका कोई कंट्रोल नहीं होगा बिजनेस का. Technological, any advances in the technology that affect innovation, manufacturing, distribution. Can you stop that? No, we cannot. Political and legal. Now, government policies, laws and regulation that can impact student the marketing activities. And then comes your cultural, that is your societal norms, your values, preferences that shapes the consumer behavior. So understanding this particular marketing environment will help you to understand, adapt to the changes, identify कि क्या क्या opportunities है company के पास, mitigate करे कि potential threats क्या है. So it will help the business to create the strategies that aligns with both your internal capabilities and external marketing conditions. Okay, clear everybody? Okay. Supplier and public. Okay. See, okay, let me just first answer the queries that are there. Then we'll move with this topic. What will be the sample of data collected and for what period? Okay. Net Netroj, it will depend upon what is the timeline that you are choosing. Okay. अब आप company to company differ करता है. I want the data for the 1 week and my sample size is only 100 because I cannot go and touch more than 100 people in a week. So that depends upon company's decision. Okay. पवन सिंह प्राइमरी डेटा. ओके, प्राइमरी मतलब क्या? फर्स्ट, मतलब सबसे पहले किसी ने इस पे रिसर्च नहीं किया है, कोई भी जानकारी नहीं ली है, डायरेक्टली यू आर कम्युनिकेटिंग और गैदरिंग द इंफॉर्मेशन फर्स्ट हैंड, उसको हम प्राइमरी डेटा बोलते हैं. जैसे कि इंटरव्यू लेना, राइट, दैट इज व्हाट प्राइमरी. सर्वे, दैट इज प्राइमरी. बट आपके जो कंपनी के वेबसाइट पे ऑडिट रिपोर्ट अपलोडेड है, दैट इज नॉट प्राइमरी, दैट इज सेकेंडरी, बिकॉज वो डेटा ऑलरेडी बना हुआ है और आप उसको यूज करते हो. ओके, क्लियर पवन सिंह, नेट्रोज, ये बोथ द क्वेश्चंस आर रिजॉल्व्ड. Then there is one more question, that is what is the difference between supplier and public? Very easy. Supplier कौन होता है? जो आपको गुड सप्लाई करता है, सर्विसेज सप्लाई करता है. पब्लिक कौन है? आप और मैं, जो उसको खरीद रहे हैं. दैट इज द डिफरेंस बिटवीन द सप्लायर एंड द पब्लिक. ओके, क्लियर एवरीबॉडी नाउ? दिस इज बाय डीपी, आई डोंट नो द नेम, the full name is not there. Okay, fine, thank you so much. Any more doubts, anybody, or we can move ahead now? Okay, thank you so much. Next, we are going to discuss about environmental scanning. अब scanning क्या होता है? Scanning सबको पता है, बहुत ध्यान से देखना, right? तो environmental scanning means जहाँ पे आपका business systematically gather कर रहा है, analyze कर रहा है information, internal, external factors क्या influence कर रहे हैं company के operations को, strategies. So this helps the company students to remain active, proactive. ओके, कुछ भी चेंजेस हुआ मार्केट में, तुरंत आपने अपने कंपनी में इनकॉर्पोरेट कर दिया. अदरवाइज क्या होगा? आपका कॉम्पिटिटर आपसे आगे निकल जाएगा अगर आपको मार्केट की इंफॉर्मेशन ही नहीं है, राइट? So it involves continuous monitoring the market environment so that you can identify the trends, opportunities, potential threats that are affecting student the company's performance. Okay, so here you have factors that are micro environment. Customer is a people who are buying your product. Public could be the broader term जिसमें बहुत सारे लोग आ जाएंगे, आपका सोसाइटी भी आ जाएगा. ओके, क्लियर राम? Yes, Ram. Okay. Analyzing the organization's microenvironment. Now, we are going to analyze this microenvironment categories one by one. Now, this microenvironment, as we all know, it consists of different factors who are directly affecting the company's ability to serve its customers, achieve its objectives, right? So, the first we have is supplier. अब supplier कौन होगा? Who provide you raw materials, products, services that the company needs to produce the goods or service. Now, this relationship with the supplier will directly affect student, the production quality, cost, timeline. So, business must ensure that the suppliers are reliable. They provide you quality products at a reasonable price. For example, in the automobile industry car, we have manufacturers like Toyota, who rely students on multiple suppliers for their parts of the engines, tires, electronics. So any disruption in the supply chain due to the factory strike or material shortage क्या कर देगा, उनके production को halt कर देगा, right? It can lead to significant loss, right? Then comes customer. Now, who are customers? Customers are the core of any business and the companies who exist to meet the needs and preference. It could be your individuals, it could be your business, it could be your government, right? For example, Nike. It identifies various customer segments for athletes, fitness, casual wear. So they have different types of products: professional, athletic gear, casual sportswear. So what does Nike do? It caters to each group, maintaining that competitive edge. Next is competitors, who are other firms who are offering similar product or services in the same market. So analyzing the competitors involves where you evaluate their what are their strengths, what are their weakness, what is the pricing strategies, okay? So that you can understand कि आप उनसे कैसे improve कर सकते हो. For example, in the soft drink industry, Coca-Cola and Pepsi are what? Direct competitors. Both the companies constantly analyze each other marketing campaign, product launch, pricing strategies. Correct? Coca-Cola may introduce new flavors or adjust the price with response to Pepsi. So what is that? You are remaining competitive. Then comes marketing intermediaries. Those are the people who help the companies to promote, distribute, and sell their products. It includes wholesaler, retailer, distributors. Okay, for example, the Amazon. What is that? It's a marketing intermediary for many small business, which helps the people to reach the global market through e-commerce platform, right? So by working with Amazon, this business can market, can distribute their products without needing to set up their own distribution. उनको खुद का नहीं कहीं set up करना होगा. Then comes public. Now those are the group that have an interest or impact of the company's abilities, like communities, media, government agencies, financial institutions. Abhi, we all know a famous technology company, Apple, which needs to maintain good relationship with the media, influencers, so that they can shape the public opinion about its product. Okay, so these are your micro environment, analyzing the organization. What are the macro now? We'll discuss that. First is demographic environment, which is related with population characteristics like your age, your gender, income, education. Okay, so any changes in these factors can affect your consumer needs, market demand. Economic environment, which affects consumer purchasing power, spending patterns. Okay, so these factors include what? Inflation rate, interest rate, economic growth. So business must adjust their strategies based on the economic conditions so that they can meet the consumer needs, maximize profitability. Natural environment, which is your physical resources, ecological factors like climate, weather, natural resource availability. Okay. Technological environment. Any changes in the technology that can create new product opportunities or render existing product or obsolete. For example, you can take here the rise of digital streaming service like Netflix, Amazon Prime Video has drastically changed the entertainment industry, shifting the customer preference from traditional cable television to on-demand content. Now, people don't watch that traditional cable. They go to Netflix, Amazon Prime, right? That is what technological. Political legal, which includes government policies, laws, political stability of a country. Now, this factor, students, significantly impact the business operations. Okay. And then comes cultural environment, the norms, societal values of the customers. It is shaped by various factors like religion, your tradition, your social status. Like McDonald's, we have, it adapts different menu to suit the cultural preferences of different countries in India, right? So McDonald offers you various range of vegetarian, non-vegetarian options so that it can cater the local needs. Okay, clear everybody? Any doubts? Okay. Tanoj, which one you want me to repeat? Mention that clearly. Yes, Tanoj. Okay, thank you so much. ओके, डेमोग्राफिक का मतलब होता है कि अगर आप एक प्रोडक्ट मार्केट में सेल करते हो जो एज ग्रुप 5 to 10 इयर्स के लिए है, और आप जाके उसको सेल करोगे 18 to 20 इयर्स के एज कैटेगरी को, क्या आपका वो प्रोडक्ट खरीदेंगे? बिकॉज वो बच्चे लोग का प्रोडक्ट है, राइट? सो सेम थिंग, you need to understand the environment of the market, depending on the gender, depending on the income, depending on the population, and then you can cater the needs. Directly just go and not publicly provide that product because it suits different age criteria, different income-based people, right? Now clear, Sanoj? इकोनॉमिक मतलब क्या? कंट्री का आपका इकोनॉमी विच इज अफेक्टेड बाय इन्फ्लेशन, राइजिंग प्राइसेस, और यू कैन से एनी चेंजेस इन द इकोनॉमिक पॉलिसी ऑफ द कंट्री. दैट इज पवन सिंह, इकोनॉमिक एनवायरनमेंट. पॉलिटिकल लीगल मतलब आपका जो पॉलिटिकल इन्फ्लुएंस है कंट्री का, पॉलिटिकल पार्टीज. लीगल मीन्स लॉज रेगुलेशंस जो कंपनीज के होते हैं, अगर वो आप चेंज हो जाते हैं तो आपको वो फॉलो करना होगा. So you need to be aware about all these things. Clear, Shivani? Pavan, Shivani. Okay, thank you, Shivani. Pavan, are you clear? Thank you, Sanor. Thank you, Shivani. निखिल, इकोनॉमिक एंड नेचुरल. अच्छा, नेचुरल का आप बताइए क्या मीनिंग होता है? नेचुरल मीन्स विच वी आई एंड यू डोंट प्रिपेयर, इट्स बाय नेचर. So that's different. So that is the difference between natural. Natural means which is by nature. अगर कोई क्लाइमेट में चेंज हुआ तो, या तो कोई वेदर में चेंज हुआ, या कोई फ्लड आ गया, अर्थक्वेक हुआ, तो आप कंपनी के लॉस को सेव कर सकते हो. यू कैन नॉट डू दैट, राइट? बट इकोनॉमिक चीजों में अगर आपको पता है कंट्री का इकोनॉमिक पॉलिसी इज गेटिंग लिटिल बिट हार्डर और द इन्फ्लेशन रेट्स आर राइजिंग, तो यू कैन टेक द एक्शंस टू प्रिवेंट दोस. बट नेचुरल में आप क्या करोगे? दैट इज बाय नेचर, उस पर आपका कोई कंट्रोल ही नहीं होगा, बिल्कुल. नाउ क्लियर, निखिल? एनीबडी मोर? ओके, so thank you so much. Now next we are going to just take some question answer session. Even if your answers are wrong, no worries, but try to answer it. What is the primary purpose of marketing research? To increase production capacity, to gather and analyze the data to inform marketing decision, to create the new products, or to manage the inventory? Yes, very good, super. The answer is B. I think everybody answered this correctly in the starting only. Great. It is to gather and analyze data to inform marketing decision. Great. Second question that we have, the answer is already highlighted here because you need to be a little bit more clear here. That is the reason. Which type of marketing research focuses on understanding the consumer behavior and preference? Exploratory, जहाँ पे आप experiments in detail में define करते हो. Casual, that is cause and effect. Predictive, forecasting, and descriptive में आप क्या करोगे? आप understand करोगे, evaluate करोगे the reasons को. Okay? See, what we do in descriptive, we describe the characteristic. Customer को क्या पसंद है, क्या नहीं पसंद है, वो हम descriptive में पता करेंगे. Okay? Okay, so these are the answers that we just now spoke about. Some important questions. These are not, you can say, which will come in the exam, but just these are some important questions which you can take care of. That is, what is the objective of marketing management, which we had discussed in the previous session. Scope of marketing management, importance in achieving the business goal, and how marketing management can influence the product development, customer relations. Different type of marketing research जो हमने पढ़ा, exploratory, descriptive, casual. Okay. Predictive. Okay. प्रेडिक्टिव अर्का, प्रेडिक्टिव का मतलब होता है प्रेडिक्ट करना. अगर मैंने आपको बोला कि आप बताइए कि व्हाट कुड बी द कंपनी सेल्स फॉर द नेक्स्ट ईयर, तो मतलब आप क्या कर रहे हो? आप प्रेडिक्ट कर रहे हो बेस्ड ऑन द करंट एंड द पास्ट डेटा. तो यहाँ पे आप फॉरकास्टिंग कर रहे हो. बेस्ड ऑन योर करंट एंड पास्ट डेटा यू आर फॉरकास्टिंग. अजम्पशन, यस, दैट कुड आल्सो बी करेक्ट. ओके, क्लियर अर्का? Yes. Any more doubts? Anybody? Sachin, lower down your hand. Don't force me to remove you from the class. Don't distract the session. Yes, yes, you can. Wait, let me show the screens. You can take the screenshot, no problem. Whatever doubt you have, Sachin, you can post it in the chat box. This is not that which can come or cannot come in the exam. तो इस पे आप पूरा depend मत होना. I'm making it very clear. Okay. So no more doubts from today's session. Yes, no. You can refer, thank you so much, Shivani. You can refer to any book, dear. There is no such specific book that you need to refer. You can attend the session. Everything would be clear from here only. Apart from that, you can refer the notes which are uploaded on the LMS. You can refer there also. Okay, Arvind, demographic is what? डेमोग्राफिक का मतलब होता है आप कंपनी को कैटेगराइज करोगे पॉपुलेशन जो मतलब आपको जो कस्टमर्स को कैटेगराइज करना है ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ एज, देयर जेंडर, देयर यू कैन से द income. So on that basis, you will differentiate the population so that you can target that particular audience. Okay? Clear, Arvind? Okay. Any more doubts? Thank you, Harshit. Okay. So I think we can